Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play of Disco Elysium on the PC. We are here. We started the game like here, which is sort of a first, I think, for a Let's Play. That's not a whole lot of distance traveled. In the course of like 7 videos. But we've been on a journey nonetheless. Talked to plenty of people, and yeah, we're gonna keep going. Who knows where we'll go this time? Enormous bowls worthy of a real man. The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting. The lieutenant looks down the street. We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go. Revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone. Maybe a sea monster did this to the plaza. Damage looks like it could have been caused by an earthquake. I don't know if there's anything else I needed to do here. No, I don't think so. Let's go this way. Ancient fountain. Doesn't pump water anymore. There's a tree in it. There are clothes inside. Cheap secondhand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
Save the economy? That sounds off. Save the economy? What are you talking about? Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash. Keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco. This doesn't make any sense. Why exactly does the economy need saving? Look around, officer. You see all these premium goods just sitting there, not getting bought? We've got to keep the flow of goods moving. Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children? I'm supposed to be the savior of communism, so what would I say? It's just nature. Powerful economies expand, weak economies go extinct. Can't go extinct, officer. I've got kids to feed. Once an economy goes extinct, it messes up the whole ecosystem. You gotta think about the consequences. Browse through the box. You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places. Economical, but also trendy, the street vendor shouts. Look firsthand, buy secondhand. Keep the economy moving. Let's find something worth salvaging from this pile of rags. No good. All you can come up with are some treated wool pants. You can tell they're too tight around your thighs and too loose around the waist. Touch them. They itch like hell, like an itch pit in hell. All natural materials, see? Street vendor interrupts, guiding your hand over the fabric. Real wool, 100% skin friendly, and they're yours for only 2 real. No. Why would you want itchy pants? That's the last thing you want. There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box, a variety of shapes and colors.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Vendor takes a pair of sunglasses and sticks them under your nose. Okay, try them on. Abort! These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose and chafing against your brow. Damn, officer, you look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. The man nods eagerly. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for 2 real and 50 cents. No, the lieutenant gently removes the glasses from your face, setting you free again. You're definitely not buying those. You're right, I'm too sensible for those. Are you sure? They look so good on you. It's Street vendor frowns. You should think this through, officer. -1 logic. No! Rummage through the box. These are all boring. Boring, third-rate, ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Cerise plastic. The kind of plastic that melts in the sun. These UV stickers are almost certainly just there for show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils. A UV magnifier. These are all first-rate sunglasses, the man declares. Premium design, superb material, very cool, UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work. Okay, try again. Maybe you can find some interesting sunglasses in the box. No, no luck. All you find is this lime-colored cellophane visor, produced by a bargain sportswear brand called Amphibian, apparently. There's a malformed green frog on its bent cap. Oh, that visor is perfect for you, officer. It'll definitely keep the sun out of your eyes while you're shooting criminals. The street vendor makes a bang-bang sound. And all for mere 6 real. Kim, are firefights something we should be prepared for? I hope not, he says, looking up from his browsing. You don't like it? Sure, square jaw, no problem. Let's get you some real shades. +1 perception. I mean, that's pretty nice. But no. You see 2 lowly defeated speakers. Thralls. Slaves, basically. Perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of fallen durable wear sneakers. Ultra Series.
I can see you have a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
Respect the sneakers. A pair of fallen Ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway. A jet black upper and a silver-lined midsole. These sneakers, mister, street vendor intones. These sneakers are the latest fallen sneakers. Super rare, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real. Only? That's madness. Fallen Ultra, wear the future. You remember the slogan from some magazine. +1 reaction speed, +1 hand-eye coordination, -1 encyclopedia. These sneakers make you dumber. Respect the speakers. These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable fallen Ultras atop them. No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The man points to the footwear. The sneakers are the stars here. What about the speakers, though? Doesn't anyone want those speakers? These, officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for props. Don't waste your time on them. Samaran trash. It sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic, produced under the dictatorship of the proletariat. Can't I just buy the sad conquered Samaran speakers? No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Lo-fi socialist junk. That's why I want them. I think I might be lo-fi socialist junk myself. No, officer. You're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale. You don't know what I am. I don't even know it myself. I want the speakers. Well, if you want them... He pauses for a moment, calculating. But see there, the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers, too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for a little extra. 50 cents. Damn, so you have to buy the sneakers first. But... that really reminds me of a Billy Joel lyric that I will Google so I can get it right. Don't waste your money on a new set of speakers. You get more mileage from a cheap pair of sneakers. That's just what I was thinking of. Okay, well, we don't have 50 bucks, and I don't know why I'd really want the speakers anyways. A helpline to the company that controls the drawbridge. Hot air rises up from the sewer. Sour, acidic, and strangely comforting. Or moving along now. Hey, fingerless gloves, +1 electrochemistry. Hell yeah, baby! What do I got here? Oh, +1 interfacing. Gasoline-stained fingerless gloves in navy blue. They've been worn threadbare, but being made of wool still provides some warmth and comfort. They're certainly cooler looking than the fucking gardening gloves. Possible I'd rather have interfacing, but we'll see. Water lock out of order until Wednesday, 7:15 a.m. Evening, officers. A burly man hangs out by the water lock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the water lock, and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them. Canal? I said canal! Oh, God. First things first, what are you doing here, man on the water lock? My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the water lock. I'm keeping him company and eating his salami. From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and gray overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage on the water lock and the salami. The man on the water lock picks the skin off a slice of salami and takes a sizable bite. Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer? Do you know what caused this wreckage? I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revachol. The words daredevil driver sound ominous to you. Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a water lock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Do you know what's further down the coast? Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. He thinks for a moment. Yeah, not really much else, just bombed out ruins. Can I have some of that salami? Sure thing. Cuts off a slice of salami. Want some too, officer? Turns to the lieutenant. Lieutenant ponders the offer for a moment, then decides to go for it. Why not? He takes a slice of salami from the man and chews on it. Nice. I got +1 health from that. Alright. Good stuff. Butter sign down. A crumpled billboard reading Samaran butter soaks in the canal. Two ugly lines mar the bright countenance of the blonde boy depicted. What is Samaran butter? Whatever it is, the boy on the billboard seems very happy about it. Goat milk butter. The Samaran terrain makes it easier to raise goats than cows, and the local goat farmers produce high-quality meat and dairy staples that add variety to other nations' diets. It's an acquired taste. Okay, let's figure out what happened. Nice. Judging by the size of the impact and the parallel lines of burnt rubber, the cause was probably a motor vehicle. Interesting. Look at the crater. Side slip marks indicated that the vehicle was traveling up the crater at 35 kilometers per hour. The roof of the shack. The black marks on the roof indicate that the vehicle vaulted from the crater to the roof of the shack. Look at the sloping metal roof panel. The panel served as a takeoff ramp. Look at the broken posts. The vehicle soared through the air, hitting the billboard and upsetting the posts. Then it continued its flight, taking the billboard with it. Look at the sign. The sign broke the vehicle's fall into the canal. The Samaran butter billboard still looks freshly painted, suggesting it took the plunge recently. How recently? Within the past 72 hours. Look at the opposite bank. Still speeding, the vehicle made a loop and vanished into the fog along the coast. What was the model of this phantom vehicle? There are two good candidates, the Cupra S40 and the Linea G22. Why the Cupra S40? It's about the right size, and the tire marks look like they came from the skinny tires frequently found on that motor carriage. The Cupra S40 is a very popular model with bank clerks, topping pie delivery drivers, secondary school teachers, cops, strippers dressed as cops, undressed strippers. Why the Linea G22? Very sturdy but light motor carriage, more likely than most to survive that jump. The Linea G22 is not a particularly popular model due to its peculiar proportions. which the manufacturer's design team probably thought about for too long. What now? Now you'd have to follow the tracks to be sure. Blink. Lieutenant looks on, waiting for you to wrap up your analysis. Damn, that was pretty baller.
Any theories about what happened here?
He gazes down at the sign. Looks like someone was in a real hurry. What kind of car do you think it was? Probably a Linnea. Seems impressed. That's quite likely from what I can tell. I have some ideas about who it might have been. He raises his eyebrow. Oh? It was someone dangerous. Perhaps this is somehow connected to the murder. The traffic hooliganism? I hope not. Fortunately, we're not traffic cops. Should we get back to the murder? Try to come up with a convincing explanation for the driver's actions. Fuck. You've thought of a very touching story. It's shit, though. That's okay. I love shit stories. Well, you're in luck then. See, Kim, what happened here is the driver was a man whose wife was about to give birth. Yes, this is good. This is very good. No, it's shit. He was out drinking with his pals when he got the news, and flushed with paternal pride, he got into his Linnea at once and raced to the clinic. Yes, that could very well have been it. Now, let's move on. We're not traffic cops. We should bring this driver to justice. He sighs, if we must. I'm not expecting him to get far with this, Lieutenant consoles himself. Well, we'll just see about that, won't we? So I can't, like, walk over this, can I? Okay, well, that'll resolve itself sometime. Roy's Pawn Shop. Fast cash for faster times. Yeah, Pawn Shop. Some kind of machine. An antique cash register. Bust of a woman. The plaque simply says DEI. In the dark, a film projector is whirring away. Mostly military wear, with a few more eccentric fashions thrown in. A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. Let your gaze run over the streetlight. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly but persistently. This would make quite a statement in your living room. Is that a streetlight? Yes, officer. As you can see, it's in perfect working order. Where did you get this? It was brought to me to be altered. He leans in so the pawnbroker wouldn't hear it. Pawnbroker? So the pawnbroker wouldn't hear him. We're not here to investigate the theft of city property. Pauses, studying the light, then adds, you have to admit, it's rather clever what he's done with it. How much for the streetlight? 700 real. A bargain, I dare say. Even taking into account the risk of obtaining the light, that seems a bit steep. It's also the matter of rewiring, but the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago. God, in what playthrough of this game do you get $700 and you spend it on a streetlight? I want to live that playthrough. Nothing else you need to know about the light. The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. Stand on the tips of your toes to see more. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you, gold and orange, a sunset suite. What I really want to know is, could this device come in handy in my police work? Police work means playing tape, sure, you can use it for that. Or any other time you need to play a tape. Like at a beach party, with sand and sun and seagulls dancing on the breeze. Theoretically, could I bring it to a beach party? Theoretically, yes, but we don't have time right now. It's generally murder investigation first, then beach party. You're right, Kitsurai. Work first, party later. That is the unofficial RCM motto, yes. It's not, sadly. Shopkeep, the stereo 8 approved machine here is the Harman Waoshi W02, made in Vesper design in Seoul, he says. Plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 reel. Nope. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back. Win her back? Yes, buy something nice, a figurine. Sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy. Inspect the knights on horseback. Big men on big horses clad in lamellar armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye. Who are they? Nigerian Knights. He looks at the dusty figurines in the dim light. I used to be very serious about these guys. A long, long time ago. Inspect the blue uniforms. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets. This looks like Rene, the old guy who was playing Patong. This is what the loyalists look like, yes. He inspects the figurine. At first, then they wisened up and got camouflage. Are these royalist soldiers? Which ones? Man peers from his glass box. Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like bright colors indiscriminately. Inspect the figurines in rags. This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks. Are these even soldiers? You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes? Sorry, I'm tired. Man behind the glass answers. Yes, they are soldiers. Revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. It's meant to give people hope. Even we can do it. Maybe. He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity by these toys. Might be interesting to find out what it is. Alright, dig up a truly cool figurine in the box under the table. Damn it! Everything you pick out seems faded, chipped, and sad somehow. Most of them are just broken toys.
It's not often that I see officers of the RCM in my pawn shop.
The man at the counter turns to you slowly.
What can I do for you?
Yes. His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop. Now that the RCM is here, tell me, have you had any trouble lately?
I haven't really had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about the inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
I just go around to every business and comment on how they're doing it wrong. This business plan's all over the place. You should specialize, zoom in, recapitalize.
It keeps me entertained.
He responds, unimpressed with your business school snobbery. Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what? Is Roy high? And if yes, then what is he on? Fuck, I can't succeed on anything today. Okay, he definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably done it, and many other things besides. But you can't cut through the jumble of sensations to get to the answer. Looking at his wares, talking to him, that might give you more clues. A guarded man like him wouldn't tell you if you asked out loud. Something I'd like to sell. Let me take a look. I have this commemorative pin, but before I sell it, I have some questions. He studies the pin carefully, rolling it around in his palm. St. Baptiste's summer dinghy raises 31. What a pleasant time that was. So what do you want to know? Price? I can give you 320 for it. Okay, but can you hold on to it for a few days before putting it up for sale? I promise to give the pin back. Thinks for a moment, then nods. Sure, I can keep it behind the counter for a week, but only if you pawn it right now. Okay, so I wanted to know about the pin. Okay, so I have to say it's a ripoff? Alright. Pin from 31 ought to be priced at 310, but I added another 10 cents just to be nice. Well, okay, but why is it not letting me sell it? Oh, access the pawn menu. Okay, good. Well, definitely selling the pen. Selling this pen. Sell the pin. Sell this postcard. I'd like to sell my clothes. Probably not. I don't have anything to sell at the moment. You know anything about the traffic menace on the loose? Traffic. I'm sorry, officer, but I don't drive. Why don't you drive? I just don't like it very much. Movement on the road never really gelled well with the movement of my thoughts. But didn't you hear it when the traffic menace drove over your roof? Now that I think about it, I do remember hearing a thunderous noise the other night. Some kind of powerful electric vortex hitting the shop and then moving on. It sure narrows down our list of suspects. A vortex. Sounds fascinating. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I didn't really know what to make of it, but I know it meant something. You might be able to aid our investigation. I doubt it, but I can try to answer any questions you may have. Know anything about the recent hanging? I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business. Bad for everyone. He doesn't know anything. Alright. You happen to have any guns, like the ones carried by officers of the citizens' militia? Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back. Ooh, this is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh, God. Lieutenant shifts from one feet to another. Alert. I sold you my gun? You, with Kim here, too? That just sounded really, really bad. You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. He hesitates. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind. He's not telling you the whole story. Seems he's trying to spare you. I feel like there's something you're not telling me. He looks away. You weren't quite yourself, officer. What was I like? You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life, and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight, and you need the money. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it. How much should I sell the gun for? 15 real. Damn. Lieutenant looks from you to Roy and then back to you. It's clear that he hopes this tableau might still turn out to be a bad dream. It's not, though. This has got to be the most... Wow. There's pity there, too, in case you didn't notice. I'm so sorry you had to see me in that state. We don't have to talk about it any further. No apologies necessary, officer. Was the buyer a policeman, too? She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying. Right, so let me get this right. The lieutenant turns to you. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizen militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it. Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside. I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame it on the citizen militia? You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her. He looks around, worried. Any idea where I can find this buyer? My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went. A needle in a haystack. There's nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow. At least now I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else. about all we can do there. Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type. Wait, there are Copo types? Yes, guess what's yours? Cool cop? No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we? Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here. I'm sorry. Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info, or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million. That won't happen. Okay. So, rigorous self-critique. You're one sorry piece of shit. A cop penitent. A flagellant cop monk. This is not the right line of work for you. You should be groveling at the feet of a feudal lord, providing lurid evidence against yourself as a Mazovian show trial. At a Mazovian show trial. Or ripping the flesh from your back with a cat of nine tails. Whatever made you this way, you can be damn sure it was your own fault. Do it. Really criticize yourself. Who knows? You might uncover something of importance from your guilt-ridden past. Yeah, I guess I have been saying sorry a lot. Okay. So I can't do anything until I get a skill point. Okay, you don't get many... It takes a skill point to forget, which is wild. So you just don't get many internal thoughts. Ooh, no fed. Nice. Okay. Well, we're running around. You got anything new to say?
Now it's turning into a kind of a...
Nope. Bold slogan. Humanox covers the truck. An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods. Who is this? A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Philippe III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philippe II, the opulent, father of Philippe IV, the insane. Not a good track record of mental health in that family. What did this king do? Even by the standards of the Philippine kings, old sumptuous Philippe was known for his profligacy. Profligacy? In what way? Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy during the anticentennial revolution, an end to his family line, and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola. How did he manage to blow through the entire national treasury? Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber where he stored unfathomable wealth, Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. He called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers like some obese dragon instead of a bed like a normal person. Sol Aurum. Sun gold? Gold sun. I don't know. The man certainly knew how to live. A deplorable farce. No wonder everything went to shit. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. The what now? You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. Not just any nose candy, though. We're talking Royal Philippine Blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays. And purple. Philippine cocaine was purple. So he was addicted to nose candy, a bloated druggie. That's what the revolutionaries said, 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Elysium Bay. There's a lot to process. His Majesty's courtier said it helped him connect with the higher realms. What is nose candy? Cocaine, yeah, okay. Where is he buried now? Beneath the cold waters of the Elysium Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. A group of marble pleurants still surround the king's vandalized tomb. A deathly cold wind sweeps up candy wrappers and old newspapers. What happened to the statue? The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces. Who restored the monument? Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time. A rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit. Alright, it's funny and nihilistic. People in Martinez tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Philippe III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the oi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life, either. Lore! Ooh, what do we got here? Ooh, white tank top. +1 physical instrument. Of course. Ruins full of snow. No one lives here anymore. Money! Small wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your... grandma? Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead. Excuse me, ma'am, I'd like to ask some questions. No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her. Snap your fingers in front of her face.
Wait.
Lieutenant stops you before you can snap.
She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
Why?
Why? I just told you why.
You say so. Alright. You know, we gotta bug everybody. That's what we do. A foreign car, kept in good condition. A Stas Rashko, one of the finest Zemsk-made motor carriages ever. An oldie but a goldie. Who drives these? Not many people outside of Grad, and Revachol West, too, it appears. Hey, Kim, check this out. A Stas Rashko, KK2, as a classic model. The lieutenant replies with a nod. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time. Hold on, maybe I can impress him. Do I know what happened last time? No, only that the motor carriage is typically baby blue, the colors of Zizgmut the Great, an ancient Zemsk ruler. His banners were famously zafir and white, the colors of the Stas Rashko. Let me guess what happened last time, Kim. Blue and white are the colors of Zemsk. Somebody painted it, got a Zemsk mad, and boom, murder happened. That's, well, yes, exactly it, more or less. Except it was a crowd of them. Tore him out of the vehicle and ran him over with his own tires. They said it was an honor killing, Hussar style. The Zemsk community protested the trial, flying the colors. He shakes his head. 5,000 came to protest. Correction, 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revachol. I mean, come on. If I know that number specifically, of course I'm going to say it. Hate to correct you, Kim, but only 4,395 people were on that protest. Is that so, officer? I'll take you at your word. Who are the Zemsk community? People we're paid to protect. Lieutenant shakes his head. Let's leave it at that. What'd they sentence the killers to? He studies his reflection in the car window. 4 years for murder and reunion. Lieutenant shrugs. The perps are remorseful. They're sorry knocked 8 years off the sentence. That's the system. The prisons in the greater Revachol Industrial Harbor are already full. Prisoners are expensive to maintain. The longer the sentence, the larger the cost. Kim, could our hanged man have been the driver of this car? I try to avoid drawing far-gone conclusions like this before actually examining the body, the lieutenant says with a slight smirk, but my initial guess is that the two are unrelated. Interesting. Before we proceed, I've got an opinion on this paint job. Yes, detective? They should have left it baby blue. You're sure you're not Zemsk? He shares a smile with you only for a second. Yes, you're sure you're not. Or, if you are, it's only in that Revacholian way. 4 to 5% maximum. Hey, look at this money on the ground for the taking. Yoink. Lorries probably stored fuel here. Now they store booze. A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy, Grod-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. Look in the window. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia. What kind of stickers and insignia? The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels. What about the back seat? The back end of the cabin is a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large, muscular man. The title reads, Man from Jelmdal, in the lost city of the Pygmies. Racist, nationalist paraphernalia. He grits his teeth. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Lieutenant nods toward the racist lorry driver. You think this lorry belongs to our tough guy? Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
The man yells towards the harbor gates. His voice is the loudest of the lot, and oddly screechy for a man his size. What's going on here?
Pull up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
The broad-shouldered alpha male turns to you. He's a full head taller than everybody else here.
Here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down?
No.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Right to work! Besides, we're not that different. It helps the people see us talking. Cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
What kind of a cause are we talking about?
Rights of people, rights of workers, to have gainful employment, to make a salary, and feed their families.
His manner of speaking is wooden, his tone of voice bland and uninspired, almost as if compiling replies from a set of learned phrases. I don't think I've chosen any sides yet.
Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups, but you're essentially still workers. I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the right to work! Right to work!
Regardless, I have some questions for you.
Maybe you should ask them the questions. Like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you! We have families to feed, you piece of shit!
He points his finger at the man sitting on the railing.
So do we, scub!
The loitering man hollers in return. What is a strike? When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people. He shifts uncomfortably in his worker's overalls. What do the strikers want? Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we, he raises his fist and starts shouting again, have the right to work. Who are all these strike breakers? Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. The man runs a hand through his steadily graying military haircut. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If Union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work. I have a question. The lieutenant looks him in the eye. Why do all these men follow your leadership? You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No, they follow the rules of the market, rules of the economy. Because they were, he starts bellowing, given a job to do. What exactly is your goal here? We were promised work, he points to the gates. We'd be in there working if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. And you are unable to breach the entrance? Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. He points up the stairs. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mesk punk either. Points at the dock worker idling on the staircase. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. A head measurer. Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel's right behind him. How bad could one guy be? You seem capable. Bad. The man glares at you. Standing on a narrow bridge. He's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters. Have you considered storming in? Like all of you? Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit. They have that look. It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home. At least for now. If you can't get in anyway. No, they will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge. Man rubs his jaw. A perfect, lightly bearded square wedge. I want to get into the harbor too. Have fun, he snorts. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. You trying to meet their fat boss? I'm interviewing people about a murder that took place here, behind the hostile cafeteria there. I know nothing about a murder. His reply is snappy and terse. Mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him. Interesting. Absolutely nothing? Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They'd do anything to stay alive. Right to work. He again shakes his large fist, then turns back to you. It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime. Sure, why not? Why not? I see numerous reasons not to pick a side in this local matter. Pity. He turns around and bellows at the gate. Let us work. Just gonna leave now. I spy money, baby! Three T's. How idiomatic. Yellow roses. Dozens of them. Tulips, too. A melancholy pop song plays on the radio. The tear machine stands in the corner. The sign says 1 bottle equals 10 cents. What's this machine? Clerk looks up out of her magazine. Oh, that's a tear machine. Yes, but what is it? She knits her brow, confused. It's a machine for tear? You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever, and put it in the machine. Then it gives you money. I see. How do I pick up tear for the tear machine? Need a bag, I guess? We used to have some, but we gave them all out, so... She shrugs awkwardly. Feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some out there. She points outside somewhere. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the St. Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo. Their logo is the bloodless rose, pure white, untouched by harm. Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Dramamine, magnesium, and Hypnogamma. What do those products do? I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Dramamine is a really good painkiller. Magnesium is a dietary supplement. Hypnogamma is She stops. I don't really know what hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit? It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or exercising. Can you be a little more specific? She chews her bubblegum absent-mindedly. No, sorry. I'm not like a doctor or anything. Nosafed heals +1 health. Druamine heals +3 health. Magnesium heals +1 morale. Hypnogamma heals +3 morale. Okay. Who is Saint Baptiste? Saint Baptiste, you know, she nods slowly at the cabinet. The pharmaceuticals company? Saint Baptiste Pharmaceuticals? The one that sells meds out of Saint Baptiste? She points to the cabinet. That one? There? She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company, derives its name from Saint Baptiste, the city. Itself so named because that's what it is. A rare case where that really is the full etymological history, as far as almost anyone knows, at least. Okay. Colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles lines the shop wall, inviting you closer. There, in that dark green glass, a world of ruby, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth. Wine alcohol, beer alcohol, love alcohol. This is not a good place for a recovering addict. The clerk looks at the wall of goods behind her. Guess not. No. She adjusts her hat. Good thing you're an unrecovering alcoholic, then. I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. But I guess you already know that. Don't ask, don't look, don't do anything here, just go away. Get back to work. Know this, you will never finish your alcohol quest if you don't buy beautiful alcohol. Wait, tell me more about these products. The Pale Age vodka is special, I guess. It's stored in pale for a couple years, which makes it super expensive and super strong. What is pale? You know. She shrugs, uninterested in explaining it further. Don't worry your pretty little head about it. Let's concentrate on what's important here. Okay, what will consuming this stuff do to my body? She stares at you, unsure. I mean, I already said it hurts you. I don't know what else they do. Drugs give powerful bonuses to your main stats while dealing damage to your health or morale. Cigarettes raise intellect while damaging your health. Alcohol raises physique while damaging your morale. Use of medication to counteract this damage of drug. Note, consuming drugs can have unforeseen consequences for you. Jesus. Do you sell any under-the-counter vices? No. She fixes her hair underneath her cap. Freight only sells legal drugs, like the law says.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something.
Frit.
Everything is out on the shelves.
She returns to her magazine. What's that magazine she's reading? Before we go on, what is this Frit?
I don't know. Frit?
What is Frit?
A 7 to 11 grocery store.
Why is it written with 3 T's?
I think they think that the extra T makes it funkier. It doesn't.
Story goes that normal Frit with 2 T's, a men's workwear shop in Vredefort, was already taken. So when Frit Retail Inc. grew into a multinational corporation, they had to add an extra letter to avoid trademark infringement. What magazine are you reading?
You mean this?
She looks at the cover, boasting a colorful photo of 2 girls kissing.
This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it. It's not for sale.
I approve of this. Very futuristic. Tap on the girls kissing. She pops her raspberry-flavored bubblegum and nods. Lieutenant frowns at you before turning to the clerk with an apologetic half-smile. Let's proceed. I have some questions for you.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but...
Puts down the magazine. Does Frit have a warehouse in the back of the Whirling in Rags? Warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what Frit does. This is important. She scrunches up her face into an expression of consummate adolescent skepticism. Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here, okay? She turns back to her magazine without waiting for you to respond. Can you tell me anything about the dead body? I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so... Did you know the man who died? Not really? Not really? Does that mean you knew him a little? No, I didn't know him at all. How long has it been there? I don't know. Really long? What do you think happened? I don't know. No need to worry. Lieutenant's voice is soothing and professional. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay? Okay, she scratches her nose. Thanks for your help. Uh-huh. She brushes a strand of hair off her face and tries to return to her magazine. Can you tell me anything about this reality we're in? Reality? You mean, what reality? Economic reality, or... She's like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher. Can she answer the classroom question? Yes, tell me about the economic reality. I don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15. 15 is an excellent time to learn about the economic reality. Yeah, she looks at the clock on the wall. That's where I'm working my ass off in Frit. So I guess, like, that's economic. What about the physical reality, then? I don't know. What about it? Where are we? We're in Frit? No, I meant, where are we on a larger scale? As mankind, or as a nation, or... What will her essay prompt be? As mankind. In a good place? She rubs her face, thinking. I mean, science is doing great, and this radio computer thing seems to be kind of big. I don't know. She shrugs, then folds her magazine back. What time is it? I don't know. Look at the clock. It's right behind you on the wall. Clock shows the time at 10:09. The hand seems to be still. It's apparent the clock doesn't work. What is the revolution? When ordinary people take over the government and demand democracy? What about the one we had here in Revachol? Yeah, it happened like 50 years ago or so. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. At history, I mean. The coalition, what's that? Someone told me there is one. Our government? Or do you mean something else? Sorry, I really need to finish this article. She taps the magazine on the counter. Won't bother you with this nonsense anymore. Cool. She seems happy to return to her reading. Alright. Not a whole lot to learn from Frit. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to really say to end this video. We're moving along. You know, you never really get stuck on anything because there's just more stuff to always look at and people to talk to. I honestly don't know if there's no combat in this game or if we just have not encountered any combat. I honestly have no idea. I'm leaning towards the thinking that there is no combat in this game. I think that would make sense. But honestly, they could suddenly throw us into like some turn-based tactical, you know, combat or something like that. And it would just be like, okay, here we are. I have no... This game is just pretty wild. Alright, my name is Mangg. Game you're watching has been Disco Elysium. And I'll see you fine folks in the next part.